Good to see you this Monday evening. Thanks for joining us on WFMY Plus for your weather impact show. We do have a weather impact alert. We've been saying this the last couple of hours. It's going to continue for the next couple of hours through this evening due to the threat of some of these scattered thunderstorms packing a punch with being very slow moving, dropping a lot of rain in a very short amount of time on already saturated soils can cause a flash flooding risk for our area, as well as a damaging wind gust or two could be possible in some of these strong to severe storms that we've been continuing to track. It's not just us, it's for much of the southeast. You know, we're kind of in this weather pattern where we have the heat, we have the humidity, and we have an upper level disturbance that can kind of, you know, initiate some of these storms and add fuel to the fire. And that's what we've been seeing for the last several days. A quick look at our satellite and radar where we've been tracking lots of storms again across the southeast. Flash flood warning just south of Columbia and South Carolina, and one severe thunderstorm warning here, not in our area, but just actually toward the east of the area in Durham and Orange County. I kind of wanted to storm track this and these showers with you while I have you here with me. This severe thunderstorm warning goes until 6:45 here. And we're going to have to be keeping a close eye on any sort of severe elements that could be in our area. Just make sure in the next several hours you have a way to receive severe weather alerts, and you are going to be inside. Have a plan B if you have outdoor plans. And if you get a flash flood warning like we saw earlier with that Guilford County storm right over Greensboro, make sure that you do not attempt to drive, because that is a lot of rain in a very short amount of time. You can hydroplane, and of course roads can be flooded, which can ultimately, you know, lead to very bad things, and it can be life-threatening. So keep that in mind. Severe thunderstorm warning here in Durham and Orange. Continuing to track this right now. I kind of wanted to pull up some of the lightning and the hail that we've seen so far within this storm. This is kind of the hail that we've seen. It's really up to around 0.75 inches or so. This is tracking around 0.6 in diameter for that hail. Lightning that we're seeing right now in this storm up to around 29 strikes, but this is a lot of rain. I'm going to get up some of the estimated rainfall we've seen so far just within the last half hour or so, or 2 hours. Across this area. And again, this is in Chapel Hill that was also affected by Tropical Depression Chantal that moved through just not this past Sunday, but the one before that. So, you know, we already have these very wet grounds across the area, and it really doesn't take much to cause a flash flood. So we're seeing estimated rainfall amounts mainly in the 1 to 2 inch range, with more rain continuing to come down as the storm develops. And it's really not moving much. As you can see, really, this is the last 30 minutes. Maybe it's moved toward the east just a little bit, but we've had a couple of other little clusters start to develop out west too. But this is right over Chapel Hill. Lots and lots of cloud to ground lightning. Locally heavy rainfall also right here along 70 in Hillsborough too. So if you're going to be out and heading toward this area, maybe you're in Greensboro heading toward Raleigh, be careful. Make sure you're keeping an eye out for these storms that, you know, that we've been continuing to track over the last little bit of time. As for us in the Triad, wanted to kind of push over here toward Caswell County, where we actually did have a pretty strong thunderstorm. This is right to the north of Yanceyville and also toward the east of Pelham. Right along 86 is where we're really seeing that rain continue to kind of come down and across the area. And I want to kind of loop this. I'm going to see if I can loop this for the last 3 hours or so, just to kind of show you how much rainfall we've seen within this storm. It mainly started by around 4 or 5 o'clock, and we've been just seeing it nonstop for the last hour and a half or so. So it wouldn't surprise me if they have like a flood advisory of their or something of the sort for this area as we continue to kind of track these pop-up storms in the region. Over here, kind of heading here toward King and Meadows, Walnut Cove. This is over here in Stokes County, just toward the east of Danbury. We're seeing lots of cloud to ground lightning within this cell too. Could even be producing some hail, although not seeing it as of right now on the hail tracker. Just lots of lightning, locally heavy downpours. Really the biggest things, again, going to be that damaging wind that we've seen. Some of these storms are even capable of producing a microburst like we saw this past Saturday in Winston-Salem. That brought a lot of trees down on homes, and that also just brought a lot of damage to the area. Wind gusts exceeded 60 miles per hour, and that's one of the biggest things that, you know, we're going to have to really keep an eye out for with these storms, is some of the damage from those winds across the area, along with that flash flooding risk. Kind of looking elsewhere and around the Piedmont Triad, I have been keeping a close eye on these storms that really aren't moving much. We have Montgomery obviously in our area, and there are a couple of isolated storms right now just kind of north of Troy, between Troy and El Dorado. that have been trying to form, but a couple of strong storms also over here toward Moore County too, near Albemarle, with a lot of cloud to ground lightning continuing to track for the next several hours. These storms are going to be kind of, bubbling up very quickly and also fizzling out fairly quickly. So we'll continue to keep you updated on the radar. As for Guilford County right now, we did have that flash flood warning at around 3 o'clock, and it lasted for about an hour or so before they expired it due to the fact that the storms had actually moved out of the area, which is a good thing. But we did still see a pretty decent amount of rainfall in that just short amount of time. So I wanted to show you some of those estimated rainfall tallies just in Greensboro. This is on top of the rain that we had last night. I don't know if you were within this warning particularly, but if you did, you got a flash flood warning on your phone that dinged you until 2 a.m. last night due to the fact that some of us got between 2 to 4 inches of rainfall. That is on top of what we had this afternoon with this flash flooding. So I did want to tell you that. Let's show you some of the rainfall tallies, anywhere between 1 to 2 inches mainly across the area. Again, this is kind of just right over the heart of downtown Greensboro, around 1 to 2 inches. Really kind of the most right along East Market Street, Huffin Mill Road, Phillips Avenue, with a lot of the rainfall right over Bessemer. And I'm going to call out some other places as well. Scott Park saw a pretty decent amount of rainfall, up to around an inch or so, and that's just for the day today. And over here toward West Market Street, where it intersects with 73 off Burnt Poplar Road, South Chimney Rock Road too. Kind of all within that area is where we've seen that flash flood risk for the area, and that risk is going to continue over the next several hours as we continue to kind of track these pop-up storms across our region. I did want to show you some storm reports. Of course, this is in the last 6 hours. This one particularly in Guilford County, and also obviously having to do with that flash flooding. And this was a little after 3 o'clock. So this was actually right after that flash flood warning had been issued for our area. And it says that the flash flooding reported was along Highway 29 at the intersections of Wendover and Bessemer Avenues for that particular storm report. I'm not seeing any more as of right now, but there was a lightning strike that was actually in just southwest portions of Greensboro that actually ended up taking down a tree over by Lindley Park Apartments too. So, you have to be super careful, not just for the damaging winds too. And, I talk about the flash flooding, but it's also the lightning threat. You want to make sure you're indoors. When you hear thunder, get inside. If you can't, try to find a sturdy building, get to a safe spot as soon as you can, because these storms really are no joke, especially when we have the heat and the humidity that's helping to fuel these storms. They really can get going very easily across the area, intensify, and become severe storms that we've seen just within the last couple of weeks with the same type of weather pattern. I look at the lightning radar across North Carolina right now. Nothing compared to what we've seen in recent weeks, right? But still a pretty decent amount of lightning, up to around 400 lightning strikes. And that includes obviously Charlotte Metro, but some storms here in the Piedmont. Obviously that severe thunderstorm warning that's currently in Durham and in Orange County for right now. We're going to be keeping track of this for the next little bit as we track these storms that will be popping up over into the evening hours. Flash flood risk for our area. We are in a level 2 out of 4. What that means compared to this kind of neon green that you see right here is that scattered flash flooding is going to be possible. There's higher confidence that it's going to be more widespread versus this kind of 1 out of 4 green that you see is a little bit more isolated. So there's more of a chance that they could be more widespread and scattered in our particular area for the day today. Now, we do have a severe storm risk for the area today, not in a level 2, as you can see folks up toward our north, and I'll kind of zoom out so you can see that a little bit. That's over there toward Washington, but this really kind of encompasses a lot of the southeast. It's not just us in the Triad that are facing these pop-up storms. So this kind of extends all the way through South Carolina, Georgia, and all the way through the end tip in Miami for Florida. That's being kind of impacted by this. Higher threat is actually toward the north, but this kind of line of pop-up storms possible even up toward Washington, New York, and Boston. So a lot of the eastern coast here of the United States is being impacted by these showers and pop-up storms. Just in our area, obviously we have some better ingredients with that heat and humidity to really get them going. So main threats within these storms, I'll continue to say it, these damaging winds, of course, the flash flooding and the lightning that will continue to track too. And, while I have you here, I'm going to actually look at the threat into the day tomorrow to kind of get an update. It looks like severe storm risk is not outlined anywhere for our area particularly, but I'm sure due to the threat of some pop-ups, they probably have a flash flooding risk for our area of some sort. So I'm going to pop that up right now. And this is again for Tuesday particularly. We are in that level 2, or at least westernmost areas of our area are in that level 2, meaning scattered flash flooding is going to be possible across the region. I'm just going to keep looking to see what the other outlooks look like into Wednesday. Wednesday, not seeing it quite as much. Thursday either. So we're just going to have to be keeping a close eye on this for the next several days. For that risk, particularly, we have been watching for the risk of flooding for the last couple of weeks due to our weather pattern, of course, and it being July, and you just have all the right ingredients for these pop-up storms. Rainfall that we've seen just so far today, a little over 1/4 inch in Greensboro, and you'll notice a lot of these places show 0, but then a mile down the road you could have up to around 1 inch or 2 with one of those locally heavier downpours, but most spots really have been mainly dry throughout the day today. I wanted to show you kind of a look at the rainfall tallies we had yesterday. Here you can see 0.16 here in Greensboro, but just toward the south of Greensboro, we had between 2 to 4 inches with that flash flood warning last night that did last all the way until 2 a.m. this morning. Burlington was around 0.32 inches. Other areas really not seeing all that much across the area, and that's just kind of how these storms are. They're very hit or miss in nature. As for our Futurecast, the next several hours, I really think most of these storms should be out of our hair by around 8, 9 o'clock at best. And then we'll start to see those that severe threat really die down these next couple of hours, and especially into the overnight hours. Here's early tomorrow morning, maybe an isolated shower or two into the overnight hours into tomorrow morning, but for the most part starting to dry out across the area. Switching gears here to some of our current conditions that we're seeing across the Triad. Burlington right now we're in the upper 80s. Dew points are in the middle 70s. That is oppressive. It is air that you can wear. It's like swimming in a pool when you just walk outside. It makes it feel a heck of a lot hotter out there. Take a look at those feels like temperatures, upper 90s into the triple digits in some places that we've seen throughout the day today. Winston-Salem, we're right at 90 degrees. Thanks to those low 70 dew points, we are in the upper 90s across the area. Really not seeing much wind either. And that just goes to show that there's not a big steering current in the area that's going to be helping these storms along. Whenever they form, they're going to be forming these downpours that can stick around for a while, especially if they redevelop and continue to kind of dump rain in a certain spot. And that can really cause some issues, as we've seen over the last week or two. Greensboro, some more clouds. We're in the middle 80s, but feeling like we are in the middle 90s. There's our friend, our little wasp friend. Call him Wispy. He's right there. It's buggy and it's also muggy. Dew points in the middle 70s out there as well. Temps right now across the area, mainly in the upper 80s and lower 90s. You can see outside of our area, more toward the mountains, we are in the 80s, so a little bit cooler, obviously due to those higher elevations. Dew points are very, very high, 80 in Reedsville. Current wind gusts across the area, really not seeing much as of right now. Highest wind gusts that we've seen so far today, really in that 15 to 20 mile per hour range. But just this past Saturday with some of these pop-up storms, one of them brought a 62 mile per hour gust in parts of Winston-Salem from a microburst. So, some of these storms, may not bring much and may only bring, 20 to 40 mile per hour winds. But really, when you have an intense downpour, it can really pack a punch. It broke down trees, it damaged homes. I really want you to take these storms seriously, even if there's not technically a warning tag on these storms. If you hear thunder, make sure you head indoors and get to a safe spot. Next 12 hours, rain chances going to start to die down. Isolated pop-ups for the next several hours. Tomorrow afternoon, we're going to go from the lower 70s back into the middle 80s. I actually expect it to be a little bit cooler for tomorrow afternoon and evening due to that little bit more cloud coverage and those scattered showers and storms that could form over our area. One last quick look here at our Futurecast. This is kind of what's been guiding our forecast. High pressure down here has been ushering in southerly breezes that are hot and that are humid Both of those things are fuel for thunderstorms. That, and also with this stalled front that's in the upper levels of the atmosphere, kind of triggers these storms to form very quickly and become intense fairly quickly across the area. The good news is by the time we're into Tuesday afternoon and evening, moving into Wednesday, high pressure down here is actually going to start to move in a little bit more toward our area, which in turn is going to be bringing us a little bit more fair weather, lesser storm chances, mainly for Wednesday, continuing into Thursday and also into the day on Friday. Still, some pop-up storm chances are going to be possible, but lower chances. I think we all will take that at this point in time. Full look at your 7-day forecast, and I want to take this full screen so you can see each and every day. Scattered storms going to be possible Tuesday afternoon, a little bit cooler, middle 80s. Then we're back in the mid to upper 80s for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, starting to get a little bit more scattered by the time we're into the weekend and also into early next week. Upper 80s to right at around 90 degrees. This is typical for July, but make sure you're, of course, have your notifications on for any severe weather alerts, and we'll continue to keep you posted on the forecast. Thanks for joining us.